Many paranormal experts agree that rushing water acts as a conduit for spirits to travel along. If this is true, Conover Square, a former piano factory from the late 1800s sitting along the banks of the mighty Rock River in Oregon, Illinois, would be a perfect place for any spirit to stop and hang out for a while. Written history in Ogle County only goes back so far, but one thing that we do know is that Conover Square began its construction in the late 1800s and stopped sometime around 1910, stopping at just shy of 200,000 square feet. Prior to its construction, the site was a large empty field that overlooked the roaring Rock River. It has been confirmed by several local colleges that there were Native American burial grounds here, and there are still some mounds that remain nearby to this day. For nearly 100 years, thousands of pianos were made within the walls of Conover Square by the hands of countless workers, many of which we still believe may reside in spirit form and are still working within the walls to this very day. Sometime in the 1970s, the sales of pianos drastically slowed down, and all of the workers at the piano factory were laid off, and the doors were permanently closed. A few years later, a gentleman named Dean Dye came along and purchased Conover Square, just as it was, as if the workers literally just stopped, set down their tools, and walked away. Dean Dye was a visionary, and he had a great vision for Conover Square, transforming it from a piano factory into a gigantic mall where people from all around the community and surrounding areas could come and buy goods and services. Today, during normal business hours, you can come in and get a variety of different services, from salon services to sewing machine repair, variety shops, and fine Mexican dining, and even a hot dog stand. In the upstairs level, there's a model train display, photography studios, and there's even a museum that takes you back into time, almost as if you're walking down the streets of Oregon, Illinois in the late 1800s. Conover Square Ghost Tours was started sometime around 2012 by Mike and Sherry Grasso, who were shop owners at the time. They began to hear stories from their fellow shop owners about unexplainable happenings that took place throughout the building during the daytime and during the nighttime, and even experienced some unexplainable happenings of their very own. The tours became wildly successful, and sometime around 2018, Mike and Sherry had to move back to Mike's native Pennsylvania to care for family. When they moved, they offered the tours to Steve Bartell. Steve was a frequent visitor of the tours and assisted Mike with many of the tours later on, so naturally when Mike and Sherry moved away, Mike handed the torch to Steve. Steve ran the tours for a little while on his own, and then asked me, Josiah Henson, if I would be interested in partnering up with him to run the ghost tours. I delightfully accepted, and Steve and myself have been running the tours ever since. Over the years, we have welcomed countless paranormal teams, paranormal enthusiasts, and people who are just curious in general. So, if you're interested in taking a tour and investigation of Conover Square, and you feel brave enough, go to www.conoverghosts.com and check out our website. And when you're ready to schedule a date for yourself or your group, please let us know and we'd be happy to give you a tour.